Okay, this is video 3 and it's a review for chapter 3.3. So the first one asks you to form a degree 3 polynomial functions, and they give you zeros for 0, 4, and -6. And they told you don't have to multiply it out. So hopefully you remember zeros are the same as x-intercept. So again, if you need to pause the video and write down the questions, please do that first. And so we have 3 of them there. So if they're x-intercepts, we can say they are the x values, right? Alright, so on this question on the test, if we have that, you will have to show steps in order to get full credits. So you will write down the 0 first, and then you can turn those 0 into factors. So basically move the number back to the left hand side together with your x. So we got the first one, you probably cannot do much, so x equal to 0. And then the second one, you can subtract 4 both sides. So that would give you x minus 4 equal to 0 as another factor. And then the last one, we can move the -6 by adding 6 both sides. So that would get me x plus 6 equal to 0 as my last factor. So once you have the 0 and the factors, next you can put them back together as a function. So remember, for function, we start with f of x. It means a function of x, right? And then we stack those factors together, x times x minus 4, x plus 6. So this would be our final answer. And they say we don't have to multiply it out, right? So don't forget, you need to show all the steps in order to get full credits. Alright, so the next question, if you need to pause and write down the question, please do that. Find the remainder for f of x dysfunctions when it's divided by g of x. So there are 2 different ways to approach these questions. One of them, you can use the remainder theorem. So basically, we solve the x from the g functions. You have x minus 2 equal to 0, solve for x equal to 2. And all you need to do is plug it in to f of x, and then you can find the remainder. So now we have f, this function, need to plug in 2 as my x. And then you got 2 times something cubed minus 3 times something square plus that number minus 1, right? And we need to plug in 2. We can multiply that out. 2 times 8 minus 3 times 4 plus the 2 minus 1, and then the next level would be multiplications. So we got 16 minus 12, right? And then plus the 2 minus 1. So now they are the same add and subtract level. We just need to do from left to right. 16 minus 12 is 4. Add a 2 minus 1. 4 plus 2 is 6. Sorry. Minus a 1. So finally, my answer is 5. So 5 is my remainder. Okay, so that's one way to approach it. Use the remainder theorem, plug in the number. The other way is division. And look like this question, we can do synthetic division. So let's try that. First, we use the g of x, the divisor. We solve for x minus 2 equal to 0, x equal to positive 2 go here. And then we have our dividend, write down the coefficients. So 2 minus 3, 1, and -1. So they're in order, the descending order. and they didn't skip any term, so we can just write down the coefficient. So we can bring down the 2. These 2 multiplied together, 2 times 2 is 4. Combine those two numbers, we have 1 times 2, another 2. Combine these two numbers, we have 3. These 2 multiplied together, we have 6. So finally, we can see remainder is 5. So anytime if you want to stop the video and just try it and check the answer with me, that would be fine too. So remainder is fine. So they ask for the remainder. Either way, you should get 5. And is G a factor? Not in this case. We can say so G is not a factor of f of x. The only time this can be a factor is if the remainder equal to 0. So we can say factor only if remainder equal to 0. Alright. Okay, so that's all for 3.3 I want to review with you. Thank you.